Topping our news tonight, the Bishop of the Santa Rosa Diocese says he's ready to go to jail after making a mistake in reporting an alleged case of child abuse.
Now, Daniel Walsh publicly apologized over the weekend for what he described as an error in judgment that might have allowed priest Xavier Ochoa time to leave the country. TV 50's Curtis Kim talked to the bishop. He joins us now live with more. Curtis.
Good evening, Ed. We are at the Chancellery. These are the offices of the Santa Rosa Diocese, and it was here I talked to Bishop Daniel Walsh earlier today. Now, according to reports, the bishop and other church officials were notified that Father Xavier Ochoa might have committed sexual molestations back on April 28th, but it wasn't until 3 days later that the police were notified, and in that time, Father Ochoa disappeared. Now, just over the weekend, the bishop issued a statement saying he made a mistake. He was sorry, that it was a misjudgment. Now the district attorney has to make a decision on whether or not to prosecute the bishop for failing to report the crimes in a timely manner.
The timing has not been good for Bishop Walsh. First, it took 3 days to report the alleged abuse, and it wasn't until this past weekend Walsh admitted his mistake, almost 4.5 months after the reported incident.
If I made a mistake, I made a mistake. I'll take the consequences. That's simple. That's easy. I'm not worried about that. That's the least of my worries.
But it could involve maybe even time behind bars.
Well, if that's... Jesus was a criminal, you know. He was behind bars. I'll be behind bars. It doesn't bother me at all.
But attorney Michael Fiumara, who represents at least 8 families who claim members were abused by Father Ochoa, says this is all a sham.
I am certain that its spokesperson and their attorneys and other advisors carefully crafted this message so that it sounds sincere, so that it will save them a criminal prosecution, it will save the diocese money.
The district attorney has yet to issue a statement on whether he will prosecute Bishop Walsh for failing to report the alleged abuse in a timely manner. The bishop says he was getting some conflicting information.
I was told by a parishioner who works in this area of Child Protective Services that most people don't report it according to the technicality of the law.
It seems to me that if he wants to be a martyr, then he should apply for sainthood or canonization with the Pope.
As for the families who claim Father Ochoa molested their children, a lawsuit could be next, and that could happen whether the district attorney decides to prosecute the bishop or not.